Hello, everyone. Tonight, we set sail into one of the most terrifying maritime mysteries ever recorded. The ghostly tale of the SS Ourang Medan. A ship that sent out a desperate call for help was found adrift, filled with corpses frozen in horror, and then mysteriously exploded before anyone could uncover the truth. It has a story that feels straight out of a nightmare. But it has one of the most chilling unsolved cases in the history of the sea. The year was 1947. The world was still recovering from World War II, and trade routes across the Pacific were once again coming alive. Among these vast routes was the Strait of Malacca, a narrow but heavily traveled channel between Sumatra and Malaysia, a place known for pirates, storms, and legends. That's when the distress call came through. A message so chilling that radio operators would never forget it. All officers, including the captain, are dead, lying in chart room and on bridge. Possibly whole crew dead. Moments later, another message crackled through the static. One that still sends shivers down the spine. I'm dying. Then silence. The signal was traced to a Dutch freighter known as the SS Ourang Medan, though no official records of such a ship ever existed in maritime registries. Still, an American vessel, the Silver Star, was close enough to respond. They changed course and began to search. Hours later, through the mist, they spotted her. The Ourang Medan was eerily still, drifting quietly in the calm sea. No movement, no signs of life, just a ghostly vessel under the burning sun. When the rescue crew boarded the ship, what they found defied all reason. Every member of the crew was dead, sprawled across the decks and cabins, their eyes wide open, mouths frozen in expressions of absolute terror. Some looked as if they were trying to scream. Others pointed at something no one else could see. There were no wounds, no blood, no signs of struggle. Evan Tashiva's dog was found dead, its teeth bared, as if frightened to death. The captain was found on the bridge, his face twisted in agony. The radio operator, who likely sent the message, was slumped over his station, his hand still resting on the telegraph key, as the Silver Star crew continued searching. They entered the boiler room, and that's when the temperature began to rise rapidly. Witnesses said it felt as though the air itself was burning. Without warning, smoke began to rise from the ship's lower decks. The rescuers fled back to their vessel. Moments later, the SS Ourang Medan exploded. A massive blast tore the ship apart, sending debris flying into the sky. Within minutes, it sank into the deep, dark waters of the Malacca Strait, taking all physical evidence of the horror with it. No one ever saw the ship again. So what really happened aboard the Ourang Medan? There are countless theories, some logical, some terrifying. One explanation is carbon monoxide poisoning. A leak from the ship's boiler could have filled the compartments with deadly gas, suffocating the crew. But that doesn't explain the expressions of horror or the message, "I'm dying." Another theory suggests the ship was secretly carrying chemical weapons left over from World War II. If toxic or unstable chemicals leaked, they could have killed everyone on board, and the explosion might have been caused by those same materials igniting in the heat. But there's a problem. No government, not the Dutch, not the British, not the Americans, ever claimed responsibility for such a ship. The Ourang Medan doesn't appear in official shipping logs. Even the name itself, Ourang Medan, translates to man from Medan, which could easily have been a code name. So was this ship real? Or was it erased from history on purpose? Then comes the paranormal side, the one that has fascinated mystery lovers for decades. Some say the crew encountered something supernatural. Sailors throughout history have spoken of ghostly apparitions at sea, phantom lights, glowing figures, eerie voices in the fog. Could the crew have witnessed something so terrifying that their hearts stopped from fear alone? Others believe the ship fell victim to a UFO encounter. There were several reports in the late 1940s of strange lights seen in the skies above the Pacific. Could the Ourang Medan have crossed paths with something not of this world? There's also the possibility of mass hysteria or paranoia, perhaps triggered by exhaustion, starvation, or contaminated drinking water. But that doesn't explain why the ship exploded afterward, or why no trace was ever found. The deeper investigators dug, the stranger it got. One story claims that after the explosion, a fragment of the ship's logbook was found floating near the wreck site. It supposedly mentioned a port in China, and hinted the vessel might have been carrying highly dangerous cargo, possibly potassium cyanide and nitroglycerin. That would explain both the deaths and the explosion, but this evidence has never been verified. In fact, the most haunting part of this story is that no official documents confirm the Ourang Medan ever existed. No registry, no ownership papers, no record of the crew. It's as if the entire ship appeared from nowhere and then vanished again. Many historians now suspect that governments involved deliberately destroyed or concealed the records, perhaps to hide a military or chemical experiment gone wrong. Whatever the truth may be, the tale of the Ourang Medan has become one of the sea's greatest ghost stories, a reminder of how fragile life can be in the vast unknown. Even today, sailors whisper about seeing a phantom ship drifting through the Strait of Malacca on moonless nights, its decks glowing faintly, and a ghostly voice whispering across the radio waves, "I'm dying." Maybe it's just an old legend, or maybe the SS Ourang Medan still sails the waters forever, trapped between life and death.